there is emerging on the face of the earth a new human, an infinite human. And that human is you. Welcome to the Infinite Human Talk Show with your host, Elizabeth Monroy.
Hello, my divine infinite human beings, you're all that is, ever has been, and ever shall be. And greetings from my home here in Casa de Mare del Golfo. Beautiful place. And I want to talk to you about the true creation of our universe. Something that we only have some myths about, but it's really just barely touching on the immensity of this amazing multiverse that we live in. And the creation of it. Because if today's science just really knew the true science, the high science, they have no idea. And the truth is, we all emanate from source, and we were created particum as a trifold of energy that burst out first as sound and then created light. And it began to descend, we can say, or to emanate at different flash sequences, creating 5 different universes, all right, and 15 dimensions. So it's that enormous. And this was created trillions and trillions of years ago, our time matrix. Within another matrix, kind of like Men in Black, there's just like an infinite number of multiverses. So that's the enormity, but we all have this source. In fact, we have part of ourselves that we still left in source as we began to descend down into lowering our flash sequences and creating more and more denser frequencies in our holographic, our divine hologram, which gives us what you see now in front of you, things around you, beautiful things around you. And it was a way for Infinite God Source to express itself. And I write about that in my book, The Infinite Human. I'm Elizabeth Monroy. I'm the author of The Infinite Human and Ascension God, and many other spiritual books that you can find on my website, www.infinitehuman.com, along with blogs. And also my books are on Amazon. But I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about the amazing time we're in, the amazing opportunity that really nobody fully understands or knows about. But the secret is that many of us are becoming aware of that we have fallen, okay? We were actually, Earth was originally Tara, and it was in its the second universe. Now the highest universe is the 5th universe. The 5 is the 5th universe. It's in the higher God source worlds where there's non-corporeal founder races, and this is amazing. And then the rishis, the trifold emanations, solar rishis, descended into these worlds of the founder races, and then on down into the lower harmonic universes. And we were pulled through a black hole into the lower number one, U1, the fallen harmonic universe, the first one. Now we are just going back into that. And this has been a big, beautiful story. I would just say it's a beautiful story because it's a story. If you can just see it as a story, as an experience, as God learning about itself, infinite God source learning about itself. But as you know, many of us have been in the middle of this, and we've experienced a lot of trauma, a lot of victimization by fallen angelics, and there's been a war going on for millions upon millions upon millions of years, okay, with the first disconnect from source that happened in our matrix, in our vector, back some 560 billion years ago. But the universe was allowed to fall because it was an experiment to find out what we're learning now. Learning so much. We've learned so much, even from the trauma, the pain, the suffering that we have experienced. Many of us Orpheans, us light workers, or starseeds who have been in the midst of this. And now we're on the point now of the great reset, of returning to source. Now, what has happened is that in 2012, actually, in all the calendars, the Mayan calendars, the Egyptian calendars, the Native American calendars have all pointed to that time frame, because it is an amazing time frame in which the universe, the multiverse, reset itself. And we're not talking about just a reset of the calendar of this galactic year of a couple thousand years. We're talking about trillions of years of reset. It reset from the first time this time matrix was created, trillions upon trillions of years in the flash sequence of time, the illusion of time, we'll say, because, you know, we do have an illusion of time, but we do actually, use it. So now what we're able to do is we're able to reset everything back to the divine technology in alignment with source, because we fell out more and more and more and more, completely out of source, even to the point of almost being pulled out of our time vector into a fallen parallel universe, which is something that nobody wants to do. So we're not doing that anymore. Thank God. The guardians, whatever, the infinite source, I always say. And we are now getting a chance. Now, what does this look like in your daily life? This looks like every time you have an opportunity to do it right, you have an opportunity to shift the energy. Now, how do you do that? Okay, the truth is, there is no time, as I've been trying to say, and I know it's hard to get your mind around that, but what there are flash sequences. And it's not, just raising your vibration. Everyone says, vibrate higher, but it's actually your flash sequences increase, so that right here with me, there's a parallel me, there's other entities that are present, but I may not be able to see them with my eyes because they're flashing at a different time sequence. All right, just like the great ones and the higher, source, God source worlds are flashing at much higher frequencies. But every time you flash out, you're in this holographic reality, or I should say actually illusion, and you see everything around you that's, you think is real. And then when you flash back, when you stop the flash, like a flashlight turning on and off, you go back to source. All right, so you emanate out and back to source, emanate out, back to source. Everything in creation does that, because we are all fundamentally source. So each time, see if you see me flashing here, see that little flash? I got this flash going. If you flash out, you recreate yourself anew, and when you go back, you pull back into source. So you have a moment when you're back in source, before you flash out again, you can totally recreate yourself anew. You can heal yourself. You can begin to start playing with that, because we haven't done it. And of course we haven't had all our powers, because we haven't been plugged into our to source with our 12th strand of DNA, which is the connection to source. So as that starts to come back online, we can choose how we want to be, how we want to recreate ourselves each time we flash. It's like creation. So if you have problems in your structure, you can see yourself whole. You can see yourself, the way you want to reconstruct your holographic paradigm. Okay, if you're limping, you can, for me, I'm working on healing my foot. You can be, how your ideal self. Okay, so you want to get in mind a vision. You might even want to do a vision board of how you want to be, how you want your life to be, how you want things to be. And each time, each moment to moment, you can begin to shift your reality. Now, it might not happen right away, like I said, because, you don't have all 12 strands connected, but it's something food for thought. It's something to start thinking about. So that's why visualizing is very important, knowing what you want, shifting from victim to victor, shifting your reality moment with each flash. I like that. Oh, isn't that cool? So I hope this helps you dear ones. And, please join my Infinite Human family at www.infinitehuman.com. Ciao for now from the magic triangle of Sicily.